I know what you're thinking, right? Check it out. Listen, I'm doing this from my couch, from the comfort of my own casa, okay? You can tell I got my supplements over there to my left, okay? We try to stay healthy out here. But yo, what's up? This is check it out. This is episode 24 of the main character podcast with your boy Fly Guy Kai, aka the Captain, aka the main character, baby. Huh. I know, right? It's a little more like a relaxing like you see like I get to put my leg up and you know what I mean, shit like that. I get to show my toes off. You know, we ain't gonna show too much of that, but I'm trying something different because I want to try. I'm usually, and I know the cord looks kind of crazy, but what you gonna do? I usually do this from my computer chair area over here to my right. But sometimes I want to be able to, I don't know, like number one, not have the camera all up on me because sometimes as I don't know, it's just I feel like it's just too up close, and then it gives me like a little more room to breathe. You know what I mean? But yeah, episode 24. Let's get into the famed triple, and I'm putting this behind me so that way I got a little back support too, because this couch is big as hell. Let me tell you something about this couch, okay? This is probably one of the best couches I have ever been on, and I'm not just saying that because I paid for it with my own money. It's something about it, especially you know where everyone sits. I put it right here in the center where the TV's at, and this is the spot. This is it's well like sat in. It's all good in the center. If you want to lay on these sides, that's good. Like the pillows, come on. Where did I get it from? The place down the street, big company, but I forgot the name. So press. Let's get into like I said, the health triple. So let's see. Physical. Done with my calisthenics. Completed. You know what I mean? Clapped up for me. I finished my calisthenics on Monday. And that was it for that 8 week program. Through having to, through having to like stop because of traveling for the holidays and also getting the rest of my stuff from New Jersey back down here. Um, Also, some more holiday stuff. Me getting sick towards like that beginning of January, just and trying to recover. So stuff like that. But through all of that, I stuck with it, and I like calisthenics, but I need more inclusion with my muscle groups. Like calisthenics, you know, calisthenics for me is good for like after a while you've been lifting, it's good to see how you are with carrying your own body weight and getting your body used to the muscle you put on, like you know the gains that you put on. Because as much as you have all of that muscle, all of that size, you have to know how to like move around with it, how to work around with it. Otherwise, in situations you might be cooked. Okay, and not only that, but the calisthenics was really honestly it was like doing hit every day. Except for the abs one was kind of like I sweat a little bit with the abs one too, but the type of calisthenics I was doing on the app, it wasn't including like my forearms that much or like my biceps too much. I feel like I could do a little more for the back area, but it was the beginning one. But at the same time, the stuff that they got going on as far as further into what they want like me to do, nah, I'm good on that because it's involving a lot of wrist stuff. And as much as I can use wrist straps and stuff that's like wrist supported, it's still, you know what I mean. I don't want to put my wrist at a crazy disadvantage. All right, I know what it's like when it's fractured. I'm not trying to go through that again. That shit actually hurt. But I went to, in fact, today being, and you know what, sometimes I lose the time, today being Wednesday, February 6th. By the way, happy Black History Month. It's not going anywhere, I promise you. I went and did back and biceps today. So after, for the longest time, going back to lift weights, I love lifting weights. I'm like, the calisthenics is good, like every once in a while for, like I said, getting your body used to how much pounds you put on and kind of cutting up in a way, kind of replacing that cardio aspect because it is kind of like hit exercises for me. I just love lifting weights, man. I feel like it does better for me overall. Engages everything that I wanted to engage, and I'm just ready to keep going with this. The main goal is to keep working out, but definitely the part of working out where I'm doing lifting and I may include like cardio towards the end with more core exercises and trying to do pull-ups and push-ups every day to help. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's somebody's dog outside. So that's good on the physical tip. The mental, no, spiritual. So already good with that. Uh, God, I always love God. Always love Yahshua. I feel like they always got my back, and I'm blessed. Um, I'm thankful for that. Yeah, mental, emotional. Today I'm pretty good. Like I'm in a pretty good space. Uh, until like it's one of those things where like when you see the news and you don't want to be one of those people that constantly ignore the news because as much as we would want to escape to like maybe another world or something, or maybe our favorite fantasy stories, maybe you want to go to Hogwarts, maybe you do want to be in Naruto, maybe you do want to be in the Jetsons. I don't know. I'm just throwing out stuff there. But we live in the real world, and this is our current situation. And our current situation is we've got some serious shit going on where people won't take it to people. A lot of people won't wake up. You know what I mean? They won't wake up. They won't understand like, yo, shit's bigger than just them shutting down TikTok and bringing it back, or like just certain shit like that. Like, yo, the president is going wild, but you out there and you know who you are. You voted that nigga in there, and you probably thought he was gonna do something for you. He ain't even looking at you. He just wanted your vote and said, "Thank you, sucker." He said, and I don't know why nobody pulls this up. He said something in the '80s about that shit. About like, yo, if I ran for president, I'm sure to get it because the voters are dumb or something like that. Can you say he's wrong? Hmm. Who's to tell? But with that going on, with the climate changes going on, um, just different things going on, like it weighs on the mental aspect of my. I can't speak for everyone else's, but for my uh, mental health, it kind of does. Uh, it kind of does affect it in a way, but I try not to let it. Like I live in the now, and I try to keep up with it as much as I can, but I also tend to not dwell in it. Like, okay, this is happening. Understand, this is what's going on in the world. Let's try to go to our happy place. that's what that's video games, writing, anime. That's my happy place. Um, but yeah, the mental part where we're cool, we're cooking, we're in a good mood right now. And if you see me sometimes like look over here, it's because it's because I tend to like because while I'm recording this, mind you, I'm doing this magical shit from a webcam that I set up on some type of camera stand, and this computer microphone, which I mean, not to plug anything, but on like ONN before their products, I thought they were like just like the cheap knockoff stuff like Skull Candies, where it was like, oh, they've got on products too that can do something. Now, like I've got a monitor from them. I had an old monitor, and the old monitor was LG's. It's bigger and it kind of does the same thing, so I'm using that one instead of the gaming monitor that I got from On. But that shit is nice. Look, can I see it from here? Um, yeah, 1080p, which really that's all you need is 1080p. Like if your shit don't have 4K, it's no need to get super duper crazy about it. It's got something like 144 hertz. Like that's got something to do with like how it looks and the frame rate and all that shit. Like I'm not super savvy when it comes to certain things, but when you plug it in and you see how it looks, like I had it for my PlayStation 5 for a while. I was getting ready to say 4. That's crazy. I had it for my PlayStation 5 for a while. Nice. And that shit was only $100. It's a 24-inch screen. So if you're looking out there to get a new gaming monitor, maybe even computer monitor, that's your shit right there. Just saying, on products and Skull Candies come a long way. I can't even front. Skull Candies definitely come a long way. First topic, anime I'm watching. And of course, where would I be without this right here? This clipboard. This is what gets my topics right there. I ain't hiding nothing. I ain't I ain't got the put it this way, not yet. I ain't got the funds where I got to set up to where I got like a big ass whiteboard and it's got the topics in the background. And right now we making do with what we got. You gotta make do with what you got. All right. The important part is that you hear me, seldomly that you see me. But um the anime I'm watching, I started to by it was by accident because I needed something to watch while I did some home workouts because the calisthenics I could do at home because it was at home, no equipment needed type of workouts. Cool. So I put on Hulu. I put on Rurouni Kenshin, and not the one that was like 90s, early 2000s. I put on it's like they redid Rurouni Kenshin and it's dubbed too. So if you're one of those people that get like about the subs because you think you can't read the subs and follow the action at the same time with your peripheral vision or whatever, they got it dubbed. And by the looks of it, they got a lot of it dubbed. But it's new animation, same story, and it's actually good. I can't even front. It's actually good. I think I'm on episode 7. So if I gave my five on anime take, yeah. I now would I say damn run out and go see it? No. But if you got time and you're kind of like because anime is episodic. If you got time, you're like, hey, I need something in between while I'm waiting for the new episodes to come out. Then Rurouni Kenshin, right there. Especially if you were a fan of Rurouni Kenshin. I know you're a fan of like I always like the late like 90s. Let me say late 80s to early 2000s style of anime. That's my bag. That's what I grew up on. I like how it's drawn. You can tell they put their time and effort into that. Like they put time and effort into this in a different way, but it's just when it came to what they had to use and like the attention to detail and how stuff is like really like the scenery's drawn out and everything as far as like that atmosphere and bringing me back, that's my bag. That's my era. But this new Rurouni Kenshin stuff, I will say that is tough. Um, what was it? Daima's getting there. If I didn't talk about it before, that new episode of Dragon Ball Daima is getting there. Okay. Now, is it a let me put it this way because I've seen somebody talk about it in a TikTok per se where like the attention span of new anime watchers is not as it's not as what do you call it? It's not as large as the attention span of people. Let's say pre social media, and I'm talking like the big one that set off like pre Twitter. Let's just say that like the attention span now is short. It's like, yo, if you don't get to the action, like get some story, but kick some ass immediately. Give us a little story, kick some ass. Go on an adventure real quick, kick some ass. Like that's pretty much how it is. That's how you grasp people's attention. A majority. I'm not gonna say everybody because there definitely needs to be a story, and it needs to make sense. And the action just can't be bullshit. Like Ninja Kamui. Ninja Kamui. This is why I like trailers sometimes more than the product that they put out. Cause trailers, you got all the speculation in the world. You don't know what's happening, especially if something doesn't have a manga. You don't know what's gonna happen. You like, yo, that shit looks fire. It's got ninjas in it. He did some tough ass thing where he summoned like shadows from like shadow arms and had six arms, and he was fighting with like six, that type of stuff. If you go back and watch that trailer was setting up to be some fire. Getting the show, you're looking at it like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And with some of the action, you're like, yo, what is this? That shit led me disappointed, and it's up there too. I think I made this list already, but as far as like disappointing anime, that is potentially going up there with that's going up there with the Rick and Morty anime, and that's going up there with the Yasuke anime. Fire Song by Thundercat for the opening. But that Yasuke anime was trash. For some reason, they feel like they gotta experiment when it's the black characters. Oh man, we got some time. Let's experiment with this. Let's make it goofy, and let's make it uh past Japan, but with magic and futuristic android like robots that doesn't make sense. Like, yo, what are you doing? You fucking up Yasuke. I was really looking forward to that. But getting back to Daima is doing something to where it's setting up story. And I'll always say, like, yo, I wish that Akira Toriyama, rest in peace, by the way, Akira Toriyama came out with a Daima first and then Super. Because I feel like Daima would have made some effect on Super, and that it it maybe would have changed a couple of things, but also it would have had like a big payoff for some of the stuff that they already set up. But I mean, we're getting Diamond now. It's nothing we could do except try to enjoy the like. It's like they're giving us background, like they're giving us backstory, they're giving us history in a sense of the multiverse and the Supreme Kai's race and Piccolo and the demon world, like all this stuff, and it's pretty interesting too. My thing about the action part is I feel like it will lose some people, and this is beet powder and body armor drink with a whole shitload of water. Remember to always say hydrate. So it's setting up a lot of stuff, and it's taking story. Now again, it reminds you of the old Dragon Ball because the whole journey is to get the Dragon Balls. And in this one's the same thing. It's to get the three Dragon Balls. But there's some action included in there, some cool action, and then it's a lot of setups. But I think what it is it's kind of like this from where Super left off, like after the tournament, having Daima should more than likely, because I already know what happens in the Super anime where it's at now. But I feel like they may take a change, or it may explain a little bit more, or throw in some more stuff in reference to Daima to help it out. The new season of Dragon Ball Super, whenever we fucking get it. I, dog, I don't know when we get in Dragon Ball Super. They could make Dragon Ball Heroes. And if you don't know about Heroes, go check it out. Like, that's power scaling and fusion wishes and everything on 10. You want to see Super Saiyan 4 adult Gohan? That shit's in there. You want to know if Super Saiyan 4 Goku could be Super Saiyan God Goku? It's in there. You want to know what a fusion would look like between some characters? It's in there. Golden Cooler's in there. Like, yo, Golden Cooler? Like, Cooler was already tough. But then you had a golden version because he's like, oh, my brother does it. I could do it too when I train. Like, that shit, if them two, like, if Cooler was still alive and he was able to get the golden form too, he would be more of a menace than Frieza was. Because he was stronger than Frieza. He would be more of a menace than Frieza was. Would it prove to be entertaining? Possibly. But we're with that. Blue Exorcist still going on pretty good. Still, you're starting to get the background story of, like, don't want to give away too much, but let's just say you're getting to see how these two twins came about, and, like, why certain things happened the way they did, or how they were set up to happen the way that they were. Uh, I'll just say that. Like I said, I don't want to give away too much. And there's another one too. Solo leveling. Solo leveling is still fire. Okay. Sun Jin Woo is that guy. This is just him, the anime. That's all it is. It's him, the anime, and you get to see this is like as if a person is playing an RPG game, and he gets thrown into, like, these NPCs that have their level specifically, and you're starting at the bottom, and you get that special ability where you get to rise to the top, and you just happen to be one of the few that get to do it. But if you think about it in terms of, like, a mass multiplayer online game, then the few is whoever logs in. But no, solo leveling is good. Solo leveling is doing what it's supposed to do. As far as how, and I seen somebody else mention this, as far as how manhwas are written, it's like manhwas are written differently from manga. Not just in the sense that, one's from Korea, one's from Japan, but the pacing. I feel like the pacing. I feel like manhwa won't go super deep, but they'll get to the action. And for solo leveling, that's actually not a bad thing. I can't even front, because they've given you the story, and you don't need too much. You don't need too much, like, deep cut stories, even though they're gonna give you, like, certain things. You don't need too many deep cuts, because it's just him solo leveling, like, trying to get powerful so he can get these items, so he can do this, and trying to make himself stronger and get to a higher rank. Like, it works. So solo leveling, definitely a gotta go see it. Not just because everybody else is putting up the hype, but this is one of the ones where it's like, yo, you gotta go see it. Sip break. Oh, all right. I'm a little, I'm a little weak from the gym. Hydrate, fucking hydrate. Speaking of, that has nothing to do with hydration. I'm just gonna go straight into the Grammys. I was trying to make a connection for it. Not gonna work. I gotta work on that. That's not gonna work. Uh, let's see. The Grammys. Do I watch the Grammys? No. I don't think I've sat down and watched any award show for a long time. I'll peep into it, where like people will put videos on Twitter or on TikTok of something that happens, and I'll be like, oh, okay, that was cool, that was cool, that was cool. But my main thing about the Grammys is, especially with us black people, we always have this thing where it's like, oh, it's not meant for us. Oh, we shouldn't care about the Grammys. Oh, we shouldn't care about the Grammys. We've been saying that for the longest time. Oh, the Grammys aren't meant for us. Oh, we're never gonna get acknowledged. This and that. Like, why are we even watch this? We got our own. Why would we make BET our Grammys? And first off, nobody even sets through with that. They just let BET be. They just let BET be Don Julio's cross pot pies. If you know, you know. You should know. But then when you get Kendrick, who wins 5 Grammys for the diss track "They Not Like Us," and you got Doechii that wins for her mixtape, which shout out to her. I also would have chosen Schoolboy Q for Blue Lips. I'm not mad. Doechii got it. You got Rhapsody got one. Anderson .Paak with his No Worries group, he got one. Beyonce got one for her country album. So it's one of them things where like, oh, who's getting the awards? Nah, it's not for us. We boycotting this. And then when we have, people who we champion, they're getting their awards. Like, oh, okay, we back on the Grammys. Like the whole back and forth of it makes me not care about the Grammys anymore. And it's been like that for a while. So people don't know. People are contradicting. And that's one thing you gotta know. People will definitely be contradicting, not just through certain aspects of life, but most of life. People are just contradicting. But anyway, shouts out to Kendrick. Having a diss song win that many awards. Ouch. Drake seems to, he does that thing. He's like, all right, he went in there at the Grammys over there. That's fine. I ain't winning no Grammys. Cool. I'm just go over here and do my touring. Because honestly, he don't really gotta care. I feel like once you won one Grammy, because to be real, if you're a musician and that is the musician's award, then it's gonna matter. Just like Oscars are gonna matter because that's the actor's award. But I feel like once you win one, then it's just a numbers game, like a numbers contest. Like, oh, how many Grammys can I get now? Because usually it's like, yo, I'm just trying to get one. I'm tired of being nominated. I want to actually have one. And once you have one, it's like, okay, now I want to get a whole bunch of them. Like, if it was me, if I had gotten just one Grammy from something like my own, then that would be enough. And then I would just keep, because certain people will do certain albums or certain songs just to get the Grammy or just to get certain things. I would just want the freedom. I would just want the win the Grammy to get that over with. Just be like, yo, I'm Grammy award winning, and then get back to like the truest like artistic side that I know of me. Just saying. But whether we will care or we will not for these award shows, I have no idea, nor do I care. But that some of the performances I seen, like Doechii's performance was great. The lady that was the black lady that's in Wicked, I don't know her name, and I'm sorry about that, but she's new on the scene to me. And she can sing, dog. She she can sing. Like like certain certain words when they sing certain things, it's just like you get that like not goosebumps because that's like doing the most, but like you get that kind of like tingy feeling in your body. We're just like, ooh, that was fire. That she did that. She did good. She did good. Another another artist did good. Ray, Raye. She sung a song from the fucking heart. I was like, oh, you were one of those nasty faces, like you smelled them. Like, ew, she's killing it. Like, who are you? You Somebody said sober Amy Winehouse. I was like, dog, come on. But she does have that. I don't know what it is. like how when rappers come out, they start doing the Migos style, and we know what the Migos cadence is. It's like when a lot of women who sing come out of the UK, they kind of have this like Amy Winehouse kind of voice to it. But I think that's how they start out, and then they have to figure out a way to differentiate themselves. And let me tell you something, though. She was getting into like, what is it, a riff or something? I don't know the terms for it, but when she was just holding a note for a minute and then just went like high and then higher and finished it off. I was, oh yeah, that's coming from the diaphragm. Okay, she was coming from the she coming from the heart and the soul with that one. I I I damn near had to go look something up. I was like, yo, what other songs you got? The same thing with, yo, I've heard the song by Billie Eilish, that birds of a feather, we should stick together right now. That shit got stuck in my head for a minute. I was like, I gotta go hear this whole thing in full, cause her playing that song, and then I always hear it on TikTok, and people just kept like the video kept coming up in the algorithm. That shit, like, it got a nice passion fruit passion fruit. Another word I'm messing up. Passion fruit kind of vibe. Like the Drake song Passion Fruit. It's got like that. Like if you put passion fruit on and then you put birds of a feather on, like I feel like, yo, you're in the zone. You're like, you know what, man, I'm chilling today. Like, yo, fuck everything else. I'm with it. That's the kind of vibe that it was put me on. Uh, damn. But I that song got stuck in my head. It's a great song, and not just because I heard this shit like 11,000 times. It's Billie Eilish can sing. She can sing, and I feel like she, like, yo, the way that she dresses. I think she said it before or something. She's like, yo, I don't want people sexualizing me. I just want you to focus on. Excuse me. I just want you to focus on my vocals, which makes sense because a lot of times you see a lot of the R&B artists, but this is for women in general. Like they'll always push the sexy side, push the sexy side and the talent, but more so the sexy side comes up front and then the talent. Because it's different for the men's side. Because men, you seen Dave Blunt's up there. Dave Blunt's the rapper, dog. That nigga can be as fat as he wants to be. He's on a breathing machine. He got like oxygen tanks with him when he go on stage, and he on a couch just like this one, and he's sitting there, dog. Can't put down a cup. Can't put down a cup. There's a lot of things you can't put down, buddy. And like, yo, him finesse two times, like, yo, you get all these. If you notice, like, all the male rappers, like, it don't matter what they look like. People literally focus on bars, not 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 bars like deep in their bag bars, but they just focus on like how they're saying certain shit and like how they're portraying themselves. Mostly like, oh man, you got to be out here with the chains on. You got to be out here with the whips. You got to be like that, and you also got to rap. You also got to have the talent too. So that's like the other side of it. Because the female rappers, no matter what, they always make them out to have sex appeal, or else it won't get the attention. If you notice, a lot of the female rappers, when they get to it, they shake ass, literally. Most of them when they come out shake ass. It's like, oh yeah, you got my attention now. Left, right, you got me. Am I a victim of that? You gonna shake a little ham. You know, my eyes get the wobbling. You know what I mean? But does that make it right? No, absolutely not. Because you have talent like Rhapsody, and again, Rhapsody won her Grammy, but you have a talent like Rhapsody, and she don't get no FaceTime. She don't get no FaceTime. She don't get plastered when her songs come out or something. Like she don't get none of that, which is crazy. So it again, it's one of those things like that entertainment business and how they push agendas and they like we shouldn't have to, especially when it comes to rap music, like rap and R&B, mostly rap because R&B they'll still let somebody be a little bit bigger, but not too big because then they still won't push them to the. They'll be like, oh, okay, they kind of sing, but whatever. It's just the over sexualization part, and the false image part of for the male side of like, oh, I have to rap about this. I gotta look like this. I gotta be tattooed up and have this bright ass chain for no reason, just to make an appearance, just to look like something. Or you just be yourself. That's why I like J. Cole, because J. Cole understood at a point where he said he was trying to get the radio hits. He was trying to like look this certain way with the watches and the chains and all that, and it wasn't him. So when he went and just kept it real with himself and kept it real, like yo, people love him for that. That's why he's one of my top artists. Cause it's just him. Like most of the time, you won't see him with the craziest amount of jewelry on or whips or nothing like that. Like my nigga still enjoys riding a bike through Manhattan. Like just riding a bike through New York in a white tee and some sweats and some random jacket. He got the money, but he doesn't have to show off with like, yo, I got this Balenciaga shit on with this Gucci right here and the Louis Vuitton that it looks stupid as shit, but because it's Louis Vuitton, I get points. You are the you are the you are the trendsetter. Why are you trying to follow the other trends? Like, yo, just make your own trend or just be you. But whatever. Super tangent about the Grammys that stemmed off from there. We done with the Grammys. We done with the Grammys. As much as I want to stay with the Grammys, and I touched on it earlier, your boy, President 47. Once he was President 45, then he digivolved into President 47, the Dark Digivolution. I don't know what's going on. Okay? I don't know what's going on. This nigga is bugging. And him having Elon Musk next to him, that dumb ass nigga, I don't care if he got Tesla. I don't care if he got some of this other shit. Like, yo, no. Like, him having him up there and just all the stuff that he's trying to sign off and the shit that Trump says, the same thing where we were like, yo, Biden's not fit up there. He's just talking random shit. The same thing with Trump, dog. He's just talking shit. He's talking, but the thing about him talking shit as whatever reality TV star he was before, you just talking shit is cool. You ain't got no effect. This nigga's the president, and again, you guys out there, whoever you are, you know who you are. You voted him in because you thought he was for you. He's not for you. He's for himself and whatever he feels like doing. But now, because of you, we have to learn the hard way. This nigga talking about putting tariffs and the way he's explaining it is not right. So those eggs that you thought were gone before that cost too much now, like we reminisce about dollar menus in McDonald's. We reminisce about how much you could get at the corner store for $1 for a reason, because now the prices for shit is astronomical, pulling us out of the World Health Organization, just trying to cut corners with shit. You thought the food was tainted now? Just wait. It is this shit's just crazy. Like food's gonna be even more crazy. Like just watch what you put in your body, especially now. Watch what you put in your body. Watch when you go to fast food because, of course, all right, they'll try to keep like whole foods and stuff as much as possible, but with more corners being cut in your like Kraft and all these big brands, with fast food and what they get, that shit is definitely gonna be cut. Really think about it. Like, yo, you really think you gonna be able to get two burgers for $5 and nothing be wrong with them? Like, why are they giving you two burgers for $5? Two of them for $5 with all the works on it. You go to a restaurant, that shit costs crazy amount. Should it cost that much? No, but still, you gotta look at where it's at the most, where it's at the least. Like, it should be somewhere in the middle. Just treat yourself better. I always say eat better. That's one. Cut your fast food to a minimum. I know sometimes you get lazy, you don't want to cook, it's just too late. But yo, just make that effort, cause shit's about to get crazy. Him talking about clearing out Gaza, he just talks out of his ass. It, he just right up there with that dickhead dog from Israel. Just uh, it looks kind of crazy over there, so we're just gonna bulldoze that whole place and build it up like new and renovate it. And like, nigga, this isn't an apartment complex in the projects. Like, this isn't something where like you have a whole old factory and you level that shit and then you build up expensive ass apartments. Like, this ain't it. This is a whole area where people used to thrive and live at, and some racist nigga, I'm calling him racist, racist nigga over there in Israel said, you know what, I got the power now, let's get these niggas up out of here. Trying to push them to countries that it doesn't matter if they have similarities, that's not where they want to go because they have a home. Yeah, niggas are kicking them out. And it's always these certain people. It's always the same certain looking people that do this shit. They go to another country and just try to go over there and just take, rearrange, change, and get whoever was there the fuck out so that they can claim it themselves. This manifest destiny shit is fucking wild. And I'm not. It's only been a month and some change. And when it comes to thinking about it, my head hurts. My heart hurts emotionally. And I said it's only been a month and some change. We still have 3 years, 10 months, couple weeks, couple days. I don't know how I'm gonna make it, cause it's got me rethinking a lot of things about life, especially when it comes to the fact that, yo, he's trying to take away certain medical stuff and affect like education and like I'm not saying I'm the biggest fan of how America is right now, but I do know that it can get worse because we have history that wasn't wasn't too long ago. We're talking 50s, 1950s. Like, we've seen how bad it is. We know how bad it is. Going a couple hundred years back in this country, we know how bad it is. Do we want it to go back to there? No. So is it better than those times? Absolutely. But can we get better? Yes, but we don't put the right people in these offices to make these changes. And it's yes, it's up to us to put that vote as far as the minorities, as far as people of color, because we are, in the grand scheme of things, as far as numbers, minority. It's up to the majority, but the majority think, oh, nothing affects us, so we're just going to vote how we want to vote. Nothing gets better. We keep putting people in office to follow a certain thing. You know these politicians lie. You know they do. You absolutely know they do, and you still fall for it. Which is why, again, he said in the 80s, yo, if I run for president, I'm sure to win because these voters aren't the brightest. And the people who hold the swing as far as the majority and the majority in this country aren't the brightest. You can see it on TikTok, you can see it on Twitter, you can see it on your favorite kind of social media. You can see examples of the brightness. So we got some possibilities. We've got weather going out of control because of climate change, which those at the top, and this is around the world, don't want to take shit seriously. Technology in the form of AI, where we've had a couple of movies where you think, oh, it's just movies, but a lot of movies deal in some sort of realism. There's something real in there that could possibly happen. And you watched The Matrix and you watched iRobot enough. Shit, you watched Transformers enough. Like it shit like we're not dealing in fairy tales. We're not dealing in shit that you wouldn't think happened. Like remember Power Rangers and how they could communicate with Zordon with their watch, like just talking to their watch. A couple of things had that. A couple of retro TV shows had somewhere it was like it's futuristic if you can talk into your watch. If you can take classes from your computer at home without having to leave it. We're doing that shit now. So if we've got shit like now where we can just talk into a watch and call somebody, we've got touch phones. We've got this whole thing. What makes you think that machines in the form of AI can't fuck up the whole thing and take over? Because people don't want to take the proper protocols and say like, "Oh, wouldn't this be cool?" Wouldn't this be cool? You're setting up another possibility of how we get our asses handed to us to death. So climate change, robots and AI, aliens. It's too many. It's too many unidentified spacecraft. It's too much shit going on around the world where people say, "I seen this. I seen this. I seen this." If it was one thing, like every couple years, fine. But this shit is popping up. Hey, there's drones here. Hey, there's flying things here. Hey, I'm seeing this. Hey, I'm seeing that. And certain things, when you see the videos, you can see that it's fake. You can see that it's edited. Somebody's like, yo, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to shake up the internet and say I've seen aliens too. But a lot of it, when you look at real world implications of like how people are operating, they go in like, oh, no, this was just an exercise. Yeah, no, not buying it. Like I said, climate change, AI and robots, aliens, and then there's just ourselves, like who we voted into office, and who we keep voting into offices. We could just fuck ourselves up, and that's around the world too. So that's my political rant. That's all you get from me, cause that shit takes a lot of energy, and it brings my mood down, my mellow. Like I'm trying to be mellow, and then when I think about that shit, it's just a whole bunch of nonsense pops in. Let's just get back on track. Let's get back into a little game that makes it so much fun to kill one of the world's favorite enemies to hate. Okay, I'm talking about Sniper Elite Resistance, which is essentially Sniper Elite 5. If you don't know about Sniper Elite, it is a video game where you are a sniper. You're a sniper agent and you're dropped into this location and your job is to go and fuck up some Nazi shit. Along the way, you get your sniper rifles, like you get like some submachine guns for close quarter stuff if you happen to run into it. You get your pistols, you get grenades and stuff like that. But your main thing is a sniper rifle. And you got binoculars to pick out the targets, but your main thing is a sniper rifle. And you get slow cam if you set up a shot just right to pierce a fucking Nazi skull. And I laugh and giggle like a newborn baby every time I get a good kill on, like, yo, from far away. And notice how I spur my thumb like that, because And pause for that, but I'm trying to spread my hand out. But from far away, you can get like a minuscule target. And if you line it up just right, the slow cam will kick in. And one of my friends said you can slow the camera down to see it. But a slow cam will kick in and you just see the helmet fly off, and you can see like an x-ray vision of like if you hit their face, does it go through their eyes? If you hit their chest, does it go through their heart? Does it go through their lungs, intestines, testicle shots? Like the game is fun. The game has been fun. I think I hopped onto it around Sniper Elite 2, and me and my boys been playing. We've been playing games together for like some years now. But the Sniper Elite games, whenever that should come out, automatic download. And that's the one thing I like about Xbox Game Pass is that it was free. That's the one thing they're doing right. That's the one thing Xbox is doing right. Having them free games. Now they'll be up there for a little bit. Some of the games they'll be up there for a little bit and then it expires. And it's like, yo, if you really like the game, go buy it. I don't mind that because a lot of those games, I have them. They give me enough time for me to like just forget about it and then go back and beat it. And then when they take it off, be like, it doesn't matter. I beat it already. But Sniper Elite, yeah. Almost beat it too. And the survival mode on there is absolutely fun. It's annoying because of how they have the points set up that you have to protect. But otherwise than that, absolutely fun. I also I also downloaded. It's like a Sword Art Online, a recollection or something like that. I don't know. It was a new Sword Art Online game that came out, and I downloaded the demo just to see. Because usually, whenever I see a Sword Art Online game, you think like, yo, like I just want to play through like what Kirito had to play through, right? Like in that tower, going up those floors. Like I want to get to all the enemies and do all that shit, or create my own person and be in the background and have to all that. But this game, it's kind of like you get the characters from the series, like Gun Gale Online and the second series where he had to go rescue Asuna in that like fairyland or something. You're getting a lot of these characters, and you're taking on the same amount of bosses, but they have the six classes, like the warrior, the tank, the support, the mage, ranger, rogue, stuff like that. And you create your party of four, go and do the missions. Now, if I'm not mistaken, from what I've seen on the demo, you can either do it like you're a solo player, but you choose computer players to accompany with you, or you can do it online. It's up to 20 people, but you're doing it in 5 teams of 4. Quick maths. The graphics, as far as like, cause okay, with certain Japanese studios, and I don't know what it is, but like they don't necessarily have the best backing when it comes to graphics for certain games, especially when it comes to Sword Art Online, which is why I never really downloaded them. But this one, the character models look pretty good. As far as like looking like the show, it looks pretty good. The backgrounds might look a little PlayStation 3-ish slash 4-ish. But otherwise than that, it looked pretty cool. And there's a discount for it. So I may download it. I may that's a big may. I may download it. Alright. And then New World's Atrium. I have a trial on there that I kinda want to try out because I seen how they get you? It's like, oh look, T-Pain's playing the game. He says he loves it. How much did he get paid to do that? But it kind of looks interesting, so I kind of want to try it out. I've been looking for like a good RPG. Like I don't think anything beats the amount of time I put in to Witcher 3 and to Skyrim. And Skyrim, I put a lot of hours in there, making a warrior, making a mage, and then making a thief, and just trying to like just play through all of those, doing the same thing to get you remember that mission in the beginning where you're just trying to get a house and you can get one for free when you bare knuckle brawl that lady in the bar, have her follow you. You exchange everything in her pockets, even the key to her place, and then you send her to go attack a group of like these giants that are nearby. Giants or mammoths? I'm trying to remember which one it was. It was giants. I think it was both. But you send her over there to go fight those, and she fights them to the point where either a bug happens and she gets flung up to the sky and dies, or when she's fighting them, of course, she gets her ass whooped and she dies. But when she dies, that's it. Like she's not coming back. Like she's not one of them things where it's like, oh, she's just hobbling around and she's gonna keep crawling around until you come revive her. No, like when she's gone, and you pretty much just have a free house. If you didn't know, now you know. Big jug of water. So yeah, as far as RPGs, like if that one's good, then I'll buy it. But we'll see. They got something called Avowed coming out that also looks like Skyrim. People are just trying to that combat and that exploration. People are trying to get to that. Like they're trying to recreate that when it comes to these Skyrim type of games. So I understand it, and if it works, it works. And Avowed is again free on Xbox Game Pass, which I will download it, check it out, and we good. You know what? I don't know. This next one, can I talk about it a lot? Not really. Now, do I have do I have One Piece like in my top 10? No. I do not have One Piece in my top 10. Just because of like certain anime just mean more to me than One Piece. Do I understand its importance? And like the fact that One Piece is probably going to be one of the best type of anime stories to be told? Absolutely. Just because something's super great and like top tier doesn't mean I have to like it or put it in my top 10 or my top 20 or top 30. It's in my top 30, but not my top 20 or top 10. And that goes for everybody. Like, yo, just because like when you make your top list, top 10 anime, top 5 anime, maybe your top 15 or 20, if you put shit on there that you put it up there for a reason, don't cave in and change it because people go, "Oh, you got this, but you don't got that." Your list doesn't mean anything. It's your list. And you know what's crazy? You don't gotta explain that shit to nobody. It's your list for a reason. And the anime on there just make you feel a certain way that they need to be in your top 10. So don't cave to peer pressure or popularity. But no, One Piece, from the manga that's coming out and how it's setting up and how you get these like I don't these plot points, because again I go back to the what I talk about in writing. There's two types of people. There's people who are architects, and there's people who are gardeners. And the architects, when you think about it, like they have to build a house, they have to have the blueprints out first, they have to map everything out, then they lay down the foundation, they lay down the plumbing, the electricity. So when it's all getting built and then the house is finally done and it comes together, all right, and you're all on schedule, and there's no need to guess about what you're gonna do for this next one because you've already mapped everything out. Gardeners, when you think about it like a bonsai tree. You you have an idea, and that idea is the seed. So you planted that, and it's taking root. But the direction it's gonna grow, you kind of just go along with it. Like however you're feeling. If you're writing the story and you're writing it weekly or something, just like certain manga artists do, they're just writing it, think about it. Like, how do I want to take them in this direction? Let's go over here. Or like, what are the fans saying about a certain character? Okay. Let me expound on them. Let me include them a little more. So there's certain people that are good at gardening, and there's certain people that aren't. Just like there's certain people good at architecture, certain people that aren't. Oda seemingly seems to be, when it's said and done, one of the greatest architects in anime as far as having this shit set up. And I'm not talking about like he had it set up the entire story from like back in 1999. No, I'm saying he has a like he has a good chunk of it done already, and then that's his brick. And then while it's going on, he has another chunk of it done, and that's his second brick. So brick by brick, he knows exactly where they're gonna land. But listen, you the One Piece just better not be the friends we made along the way. And I know for a fact Oda's probably laughing because he's probably heard that. Like, yo, don't let this be some dumbass shit where it's like the friends we made along the way. We have anime that have that already. Give us something. Give us something grand. Give us some shit where it doesn't look like Luffy's about to get the One Piece, and when he gets it, it means something different. Like it's the I don't know. Because even when you see the beginning and the beginning opening where Gold Roger says, "I left everything I own in one piece." It's not like that. I mean, that is the show. It's One Piece because it's all about getting to the One Piece. But everything he owns in One Piece, what is everything? What did he have that was so grand in scale that he hid it in a place that was damn near super hard to get to, and whoever gets it can be the king of pirates with that. Like, what about it is so strong that whoever gets this is just you're just them. Your crew is just top notch. I don't know. And I like how things like this anime, manga, the story in general, it makes people think and the theories come out. And then when Oda does this funny thing too, to where each of his chapters, there's kind of like a picture and sort of like a, you remember like how carts, like the funny, I was about to say the funnies kind of, but the comics and the newspapers, where some of them they would just be one picture, and then it's like maybe a quick conversation between two characters in there, whether it be like an animal or like a person animal, whatever, and you see a theme in there. He's been doing that with each of these chapters, as far as like the front page not directly being related to what's going on in the story thus far, but it's like a whole different story that's happening, but it plays a big part. So not only does he have this main story, he has B, C, D line stories that are going on in the background that are going to contribute later on. He's good. He's good. And when I do the ranking for my top 30, I don't know. Depending on how One Piece ends, I might actually put it in the top. Let me look at my list right now, because I might actually put it in the top. I might actually put it in the top 20, because I like Soul Eater, the manga, the anime, the story overall. I like so. This is what I got in my, because there's a top 10, but here's my top 11 to 20. Yu-Gi-Oh! Digimon Frontier, S. Cryed, Zatch Bell, Afro Samurai, Sword Art Online, My Hero Academia, Summertime Rendering, Samurai Champloo, Soul Eater. It it honestly might bump off either Digimon Frontier or oh man, that's what's hard about these lists too, because it might bump off Digimon Frontier. Definitely not bumping off Yu-Gi-Oh. Definitely not bumping off Zatch Bell. Zatch Bell is my top. I just another thing about Zatch Bell. I looked into how the uh how the mangaka did the spells, because like you got like Zack Hair, uh Ray Shield, a Bowser Hair. There's prefixes in there that each means something. Like how the spells are worded, and how some of them sound similar to other spells, but they just differentiate and they have a different element. There's like a prefix like, yo, this prefix means this element. This prefix means it's like level 1 to 6 type of attack. This prefix means it's going to be a defense or an offense. This prefix means it's going to be a beam or a blast. And he just like, he put it all together and it creates a unique spell for that Momoto. That shit, I'm stealing that idea. That's what, yo, good artist, great artists steal. And not steal, copy, paste, and that's just it. No. The template, that's the stealing. Like, yo, that's a template for you. Use this template to make your own idea spun off from this, inspired from this. I'm doing that for my fantasy stuff that I got going on. But and my nose is kind of stuffy. Honestly, One Piece might bump off Digimon Frontier, or it might bump off SAO. Summertime Rendering just threw me for a loop, and when I found out like what was going on, top tier. Samurai Champloo, top tier. Soul Eater, hmm. Actually, no, 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 no. Oh man, could it bump off? Digimon Frontier or Soul Eater might be on a chopping block as far as moving down the list. If that One Piece ending is fire, because One Piece has given me some. It's given me some good moments, and the ending for Soul Eater, the anime wasn't really the best. And Digimon Frontier is just Digimon Frontier. Damn, it might bump off Soul Eater, because Digimon Frontier to me, that shit had me in a sort of hold, because the kids again, only this time when they went to go fight Digimon, they weren't fighting, their partners weren't Digimon. Their partners were Digimon armor. And they transformed in like a Power Rangers or Super Sentai type of way, where they had the armored transformation, and they transform into like whatever Super Sentai form, like what was it? It was like a Greymon inspired one, a Goonimon. That's what it was, a Goonimon. It was like I said, it was a Greymon inspired one. You had a Goonimon, you had Lobomon. Like you had their armor forms that was like humanoid, like it was just people in some armor. Then you had their beast digivolutions, which was, these were like beast forms of whatever power they had. Then you had the um digivolution of when the humanoid form and the beast form come together. Dog. Yeah. It might bump off Soul Eater. I'm sorry. And I like Soul Eater. I like Soul Eater what it's done. Especially with, if they were to redo Soul Eater again, I wouldn't mind it, because how Fire Force ended, and those who know, well, it's not ruining it, but just know that Fire Force and Soul Eater have something in common. And not only just by like how they're drawn, the fact that they're drawn similarly and made by the same person, let's just say they have a lot in common. But if they can redo Soul Eater and go buy the book, just like when just like when they had Full Metal Alchemist and then they actually redid it and did Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood to follow the book by book, then top tier. That might be a battle. But yeah, One Piece is setting up nicely. If I could be half as good as Oda is when it comes to the imagination and setting up, like the foreshadow with a lot of things, dog, I would be happy. And I think with the ideas that I bounce around in my head, I think I'm just as good. I just don't put it to application, which is a big problem because I'm always juggling the ideas around and not setting on one. But once I lock in, it's game over. And that leads me to my last topic of would you want to be famous? And there's levels to fame. There's big levels to fame. Gotta hydrate. You got to. There's big levels to fame because like you got like the super duper stardom where like you can't even walk down the street because you'll get swamped by people or people try to break into your house or your apartment to just get next to you in bed with you or something or just like crazy shit like that. I don't know about that level of famous. Mm, but like then you got people that get like social media famous, like TikTok famous, and they get to do certain shit, like streamer famous, like that type of famous where people don't go super crazy for you, but people know who you are and like invite you to events like special movie screenings or they'll sit down and chat with you or like invite you to like their show or come to your like come to your podcast or chill with you or you actually make an actual friend with someone who's famous. I think that level of fame, that's actually pretty fly because the thing about being famous is like, yeah, you're noticed, but then that's also the double-edged sword because now you're noticed. You can't go nowhere. And then if you become famous to a certain point, people expect you to only do whatever you're being famous for. If you're famous for like skits or whatever, that's all you can do. No one's gonna let you go do anything else. You can't just go to college and you can go to college, but it's gonna be hard because whatever you're trying to study, people just look at you like, "Hey, aren't you from what's his face?" So yeah, as far as like levels of famous, I wouldn't want to be I wouldn't want to be super mega. Oh my god, I can't even breathe outside without someone taking mass pictures famous. But I wouldn't mind like streamer, social media, like TV show type of famous. You know what I mean? Get invited to a couple of things. Be able to be in these same seats so I can push my ideas. That's what I would. I would be famous for the sole purpose of being able to put my ideas out there to collaborate with like Marvel or DC or my favorite anime or get my own anime going or get be in a writer's room for a movie, create create a comic book universe with somebody like that type of famous. Here's the wishing. But otherwise than that, I don't know. I don't know how long I've been doing this for. I've been feeling kind of comfortable just chatting with y'all. But that is it for episode 24 of the Main Character Podcast. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share your dig. Um, Sorry if you can hear that in the background, but somebody's got an emergency. But yeah, this is me trying this new setting. It's a comfortable setting because now I get to just kick back, kind of think, talk. I'm not too like super up in the chair, not all up in the camera. I actually get to be farther back, and I may juggle between going to going to having my camera up close and just being in my chair and then just doing this on the couch. I guess it depends on how I'm trying to be like relaxed or just other stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. As always, thank you. I appreciate the time. Time is super precious, and the fact that you took out the time, whether it's a second, a minute, half the video, the whole video, I appreciate the fact that you gave access to that time to me to hear me yap about certain stuff. That's what I've been trying to do. I'm trying to have a good yap session. And if this thing can get bigger as far as like collaborating with people or being brought on to something else, then that's where I'm mostly leading. This is more like I don't know, this is more like auditions for myself or me trying to get comfortable with doing something. But all in all, I think it's leading towards something more. And it's not just something that I'm saying just to fake it till you make it. I truly believe that. So watch your boy get up there. Thank you. Um, until next time for episode 25, just stay tuned.